All right, guys. The Christmas holiday is fast approaching. Speaking of approaching with different speed and velocity, we coming at you a day earlier. I'm coming at you with a different tone of voice, not by choice. Obviously, um, Evan was battling a couple weeks ago. I guess now it's my turn. So I get to show you that I can also battle injured, and hopefully these guys can pick me up where I cannot carry the show the way I used to or the way I might should. But hopefully we can get through this at least in some capacity. We do have a lot to cover though, as we didn't give you a review show based on that kind of timing of this week and the holiday season. But we are with you tonight. We have a lot of slates to get to, a lot of unique ways to play this week. So I do think it'll be fun. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get into with the right kind of mischievous energy. So without further ado, why not Donnie? You give the people our spread pick for the night.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna do a quick review on it, just a little bit of a speed run. Don't want to go too in depth because it's so
Take
close.
your time. Give Logan his time to rest in between.
Please.
So we had last week the Rams at 6.5. The group spread pick. We got a couple more weeks to get this positive. We're even at 8-8 now. Then Logan, he had the Browns -3, the Jets +8.5. That puts him at 11-18, and for the first time, his first ever push, I believe, in 2 years, 11-18-1, joining the club of the push. Gov had a bad week.
Yep.
Gov, you're joking here. You're choking.
Yeah,
And it's because you keep picking against me. I
don't know about that.
I don't know. It seems to be the trend. The Jags are +3.5. Giants +5. That puts him at 13-15-2. I'm right behind him with the Ravens -3.5. Eagles -3. Thank you, Eagles, for screwing that up. 13-16-1. And if it wasn't for that goddamn last-second touchdown, I'd be in first. Evan had the Falcons -2.5. Niners -11.5, putting out 12-15-3.
The Falcons decided to fuck me over once again, and that's exactly what they did.
To be fair, you trusted Arthur Smith.
I trusted him at least over the Panthers, thinking that'd be a gimme, but apparently that was too much for Arthur.
I'm Arthur.
Well, at least the Panthers spoiled their pick possibly a little bit.
I run the Falcons. I did Arthur.
I love a good Arthur Smith downfall. I can't believe he still has a job after that.
Who you? You named Cordero? You run ball now. Touchdown. Go.
I don't know why. I don't know why they have this whole running back by committee. Bijan should be getting all the carries.
Look at that guy. He big and fat and strong. You throw him ball. I don't care what his name is. Jonu? Yeah, you throw him ball. He big and fat and strong.
Speaking of caveman mentality, do you know now they call him Art? Apparently, like that's the big story coming out of that Atlanta Falcons camp is now they call the coach Art.
I'd rather call him Fart.
Yeah, he has no sense of art when it comes to offense. That's for sure.
Right, but I'm saying like that's the big story coming out of this week is they call him Art. It's like that will tell you the organization is in dysfunction when the story of a playoff team is their coach's name. Like that
They're
is
not a playoff team. So,
yeah, I think they're out. I think they're out.
They're not out. Like
technically they have I think 11%.
They now need Tampa to lose.
Yeah,
They
And
have
they
to win.
need-
They've always had to win, but now they need Tampa to lose and probably New Orleans to lose too.
Correct. That chance is now 11%.
Yeah, that's pretty low. Not impossible, but it'd be tough to come back from.
But even still, like, how is the number one story of your franchise the literal name of your coach? Like that was literally what was going around the mainstream offices of the NFL was the coach's name. It's like, oh my god, that just blew my mind. Okay, so we don't get into another Arthur Smith discussion this week. That was a couple weeks ago, by the way. If you guys want to check that out, Evan did a deep dive into coaching, kind of debauchery. That was a great time. But for now, while my voice is at least holding up to some capacity, I do want to give up my first spread pick, if that's okay. I will take
Yep.
the Cleveland Browns at -3 against the Houston Texans.
That was my number one as well.
That would have been a good one to take. Yeah, that's like no disagreement there with the Browns. Even on the road, it looks like we still won't have C.J. Stroud, so we're getting Joe Flacco versus Case Keenum.
It should be a primetime game, honestly, the way the NFL's been going.
I've had talks with people in the Discord. I think it's been preordained. This Cleveland team is just the 2013 or 20 whatever it was, the Ravens team that won the Super Bowl. That's just what it is. That's just Flacco's old team. There's correlations everywhere. You just have to turn Ray Rice into David Njoku, and it's the same team, built around all the same kind of key pieces.
And Case Keenum on the other side does not look good at all.
No. And Houston is without, like, Houston was a team that looked really good, but, like, you see what happens when young players get hurt, and, like, that's all that was carrying them. And, like, now Houston is not that great of a team anymore at the end of the year with no Collins, no Tank, no Stroud. Like, it's just, I think this is
a great year for them. This was an awesome year for them. It's a great year to build.
Houston has had an amazing year. They should think they have a lot going forward. You keep Stroud healthy, you get him another weapon and keep them healthy, and just like the defense turned around from last year, everything looks good for the future for Houston. But
yeah, and it's not the Giants of last year either. It's not a
no. It's not like you think it overachieved. No, they have really good talent across the board. And they are set and starting to be set and primed for a future run.
And they look significantly worse with no C.J. Stroud under center. That's how much of an impact he has.
Agreed. Now, and the thing is, like, I think we've had a game or two with, like, no Tank and with less weapons. So, like, we can see even Stroud with a few less weapons is still quite good. So it's not like something where it's like, well, if Case Keenum had Nico Collins and Tank Dell and everyone, he'd be doing better too. I'm not so sure about that.
But there's one wide receiver Case Keenum does like, Noah Brown.
He still has Noah Brown, that's true.
Because he got 11 targets last week, and
but can Noah Brown, as the number one wide receiver, do anything against what is an amazing Cleveland defense? I don't think so. So I 100% agree with Logan's pick. Like, -3 on Cleveland, like, they should win this game outright, and I don't see how, like, it's a close game. Like, unless Flacco just turns the ball over every other
last week. Well, no, I guess that's... But
like,
he had a lot of turnovers last week, and he still has home run potential.
In 3 games, he's had 6 turnovers, but he's also accounted for, I think, 8 touchdowns. So, like, he's a plus in that sense, and then the defense is amazing. So, like, Cleveland can, I'm not sure, it's weird because I don't think Cleveland blows them out, but I think they can win by 3
easily.
Is it crazy that I think this Browns team actually looks better with Flacco than it did with Watson?
No.
Like,
it's
not at all.
That's sad. That's sad.
Preordained is the only way to cure the curse of the old Browns. The quarterback that won a Super Bowl for the old Browns, which is now the Ravens, for anyone who doesn't know, must win a Super Bowl for the new Browns in order to reclaim the Browns as the Browns. Otherwise, they will suck into eternity.
I have one more question about the Texans before we get on to your pick, Gov. Nico Collins is listed as questionable for this weekend with a calf injury. Do we think he plays?
Doesn't matter to me.
It looks 50-50 to me. Calf injury is weird for wide receiver. Like, if he plays, is he 100%? Is definitely a thought in my head.
Honestly, unless you're going to bet a prop bet, I don't think it matters much in the relevancy of what we do in terms of spreads or DraftKings builds because he's too highly priced. I will say, speaking of prices, I did bet one coach of the year, which was Kevin Stefanski, and I bet $1 to 117. So I got that a couple weeks ago. I think that's a good bet. There's only been one coach to win with 3 quarterbacks this year. That was Kevin. And also, he lost a star running back and is also producing more offensively than he gets credit for with that Cleveland Browns offense. I think he's actually earned Coach of the Year, given all the other candidates. We'll see if he actually gets it.
I would agree. He was phenomenal with the Vikings.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's why I laid it. I thought it was a good price. I thought it was a safe bet, and we'll see if I can actually cash it. But why don't we get on to Ghost pick?
Yep.
All right. This was a rough week, I'll give it that. But I think my first bet, probably, again, I'll just take big spread, hope it works out. Give me Philadelphia over the Giants.
What's that at?
My screen has it at 13, I think.
Yeah,
What does DK have it at?
I
That's
believe
what I have
so.
to see.
Let me
13.5.
I'll take 13.5, yeah.
Any particular reason or reasons for the Eagles, being that they have lost 3 in a row?
That's kind of the reason why. Like, them losing multiple ones in a row and letting Dallas get up there, like, they need a win. You're not going to lose at home to the Giants. Like, this just is a get-right game for Philly on Christmas. Like, the only way they don't boo Santa Claus in Philadelphia is if they beat the Giants by, like, 25. So, you know it's got to happen. Like, I just see it happening. I'm taking Philadelphia plus or minus 13.5.
Makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's the same thing as when the Niners went on their losing streak.
Boston
You just gotta
Scott
believe.
gonna score a touchdown on Christmas Day.
That's the real bet here.
All the DeAndre Swift owners are raging over that too.
Championship weekend.
All of a sudden, like, they go in to do the tush push. The next thing you know, Boston Scott switches with Jalen Hurts.
It's worth noting that the Eagles have only lost once at home this season, so their odds are pretty good.
I was also going to mention, is it more comforting, Gov, to know that the Giants literally have not named a starting quarterback yet?
I don't care if it's Danny Dimes. I don't care if it's Danny DeVito. I don't care if it's Air.
Danny DeVito.
I mean, but still, that's got to be good that there's turmoil.
Well,
because that means you have no quarterback.
You
Literally.
see, if Tommy doesn't start, he could just send the mob after the Giants. So
It could be Daniel Jones. It could be Tommy DeVito. It could be Danny DeVito. It could be Tommy Lee Jones. I don't care. It does not matter. They're going to lose by a lot.
yeah, I don't want to even spend that much time on this game.
Yeah.
The Eagles, perfect scenario for them. Perfect late game.
Get right game, division, late year, perfect.
I'm just gonna break Evan's heart here. I need to take the Bears at -4. I do not see a world where this Cardinals team can hang. I really like the Bears in all capacity here.
At -4, right?
You don't think
-4, yeah.
Kyler's gonna have a solid game and keep it close?
He might have a solid game. I don't think it matters. They're not very healthy. I just,
The Bears have a appetizing price on DraftKings as well this week if you're building any lineup.
Yeah,
I think Fields wants to spoil this pick as much as possible, secure his job completely, which I think it's already secure, but...
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, there are a lot of fools who think that they should give up on Fields and just go get Caleb Williams just because he happens to look good in college, and they don't understand how college doesn't equal pro success, but I won't get into that rant right now. The Cardinals are playing half blind with one leg tied behind their backs. And what I mean by that is Greg Dortch is their top pass catcher with no more Hollywood Brown. And Trey McBride is going to have to really step up. The Bears are a bit iffy against tight ends, but they did a really good job stopping Sam Laporta from getting a lot. So I like the Bears' defense chances against the Trey McBride, and I think -4 is pretty much a gimme.
Evan, what would you consider stopping Trey McBride, though?
3 catches for 30-some yards and then not get in the end zone, because how did Laporta do against the Bears again? Let's see. Yeah, he was 2 for 6 for 23 yards, and he didn't even get in the end zone. So, 3 catches I could see Trey McBride getting, somewhere in that range.
McBride, excuse me, go ahead.
So, yeah, I think that's a good pick by Donnie. I'm not that heartbroken about it because I like a lot of this slate. Donnie, did you have anything else to add to this before I go to my pick?
Well, I just, I think that the Bears have gotten so many good athletes now on that defensive line. I don't think Kyler's going to have this great impact where it's like, oh my God, how are they going to stop him?
Yeah, I would expect Montez Sweat to really chase after Kyler.
Yep. That's going to be the game plan.
Yep, and I don't see why that would change.
I really like this pick, but I'm looking at all of my metrics and it's telling me to pick Arizona, and I don't want to do that. So,
do you know why your metrics say that?
Yes, my metrics follow the money it's already been bet and stuff like that. So there's a lot of money on the Bears, but it's not coming from the right places.
What does that mean?
Like my stuff tracks sharp bettors. It tracks multiple different books. It tracks certain models of dogs off a bad game, road dogs, home dogs off a bad game, stuff like that. There's a lot of different things that these sites I pay for track. And so it's telling me the sharp bettors and the pro models think +4 Cardinals is the bet, and 60% of the bets that are made across all books are that way. But the money is a literal 50-50 split. So there's larger bets on the Bears. There's bigger money bets on the Bears, but everything else points towards Arizona. So, it depends. Do you want to follow where all the people are betting the money, or do you want to follow where the sharp bettors and the models say? It just depends on what you want to do. I tend to follow the sharp bettors and the models myself, but this is one of these games where it's because of it's back and forth with the money and with the projections. The money and the projections say you take Chicago, but the systems and the sharp action would say take Arizona.
So
just for a little look behind what I'm looking at.
The people who are betting for the Cardinals to take the over on them, do you see any feedback on why they might be betting for them against a Bears team that was not popular at the beginning of this season?
Well, neither would have been Arizona. It doesn't really take into account anything like that. But one of the main models is the road dog low total game after a loss. That is something that has popped in models for years for these people. So apparently that has a 60% win rate, which that's way better than 50-50. Like, sorry, 60% is way better than 50-50 when you're betting. You have to take a 10% margin there.
And
So,
Triv,
like, I will take that into account. That's why it's like, is that enough for me to take the Cardinals? When, like, 60% of the time, regardless of who the teams are in this scenario, of road team that's not good, coming off a loss, coming into another low total game, so, like, another bad team, which is what they're expecting Chicago to be, which, like, they kind of are. So, again, I'm not saying I like right now. I know where, like, I agree with Donnie. I kind of like Chicago. I think I'd follow the money on this one, or just avoid this game completely, personally. But, like, when it comes to what I look at, I see why Arizona would work. I could see a scenario where they keep close in this low total game. Maybe Chicago still wins 17-16, 17-15, and Arizona covers. Even 17-13 would be a push.
I'll just say quickly, I want to target Trey McBride in DraftKings because he has seen like 20 targets in the last 2 weeks. It seems like
Yeah, great tight end.
he's
Great
really
young
coming
tight
on.
end. Yes.
Yeah, he's really coming on.
So whose pick are we at?
We are now to me, and it's
2 in a row. Yeah.
yes, it's a little tricky for me this week because I like a lot of this slate, like I said earlier. But I think for the first one, I will take the Seattle Seahawks at -3.5 over the Tennessee Titans. We were talking about this off the air before we started the show. Geno Smith is back for the Seahawks, and the Seahawks, I really love their receiving core. Their defense, while their secondary is young and not very good yet, it's not like the Tennessee Titans have anybody that's a deep threat aside from DeAndre Hopkins, who's probably in the last of his prime right now. And we don't even know if Will Levis is ready to go for this coming Sunday. So it could be a rusty Ryan Tannehill. I think the -3.5 is an easy pick for this particular game for the Seahawks, and I don't believe in the Titan. I love Mike Vrabel, don't get me wrong. I think he's a great coach. He just doesn't have the talent to beat a Seattle Seahawks team. What do you guys think?
I 100% agree with everything you said.
I don't disagree with anything about that. You took one of my picks.
Not surprised, because this is a pretty good one. Logan, if you're able to muster it, do you have anything on this?
I don't like Geno Smith, so I don't really know if
Geno
Lock
Smith
is that much of a downgrade.
Well, it is, but that's a different issue.
Well, Donnie, you're not a fan of Geno either, right?
No, I'm a Geno Smith hater. I wear that right on my shoulder. And I understand I should just eat some crow on that, but I just don't see it at all.
Well, I'm just saying I don't know if there really is an edge in this game. I think both of these teams are bad. Elevated by good coaching, perhaps, but just bad teams.
I don't think the Seahawks are bad. They're just okay, right? They're 7-7. They're a bad road team, but at home, playing at I forgot the name of the stadium that replaced the Kingdome, but that's like the loudest stadium by decibels in the NFL.
Isn't it CenturyLink or something? I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. If there are any Seahawk fans listening, you let me know. But I like the Seahawks a lot, even though they are technically playing at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. But I mean, Titans fucking suck. I don't see how the Seahawks loses.
Yeah, I believe it is CenturyLink, by the way.
All right, next pick, Evan.
Yes, righty. I'm gonna have to. Let's see here. Yeah, try not to stall too much here.
Meanwhile, I just hope you leave me my pick.
I was tempted to take the over with the Giants just because of the way the Eagles have been all season, but I don't want to eat crow on that one. I bet the Eagles do end up blowing them out, like Gov just mentioned. I don't even want to touch that Ravens 49ers game, so.
I feel why.
But I am going to go bold on Christmas Day. I'm going to take the +10 over of the Las Vegas Raiders at the Kansas City Chiefs. this Chiefs team has proven that they're not as good offensively as they used to be. And this Raiders team is looking a hell of a lot better with Antonio Pierce leading the way for a team that doesn't really have a lot of talent, but they've proven that they can keep up with other teams over the last few games. So I think minus 10 is a little too big for this Chiefs team. I mean, Travis Kelce doesn't look as good as he used to, and Rashee Rice is looking better, but they are going to probably roll with Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Jerick McKinnon again. Actually, I don't even know if we know CEH if he's going to play or not. So I don't.
Pacheco is back.
Yeah, Pacheco. Okay, so yeah, he is coming back. But they did lose to the Chiefs by 2 touchdowns in Week 12. I think they're going to be looking for blood this time.
Wow.
I don't know if they necessarily win, but I don't think they're going to lose by 10.
This is amazing. This is the first time I've ever seen nothing when it comes to my metrics for a game. Like
weird.
Usually, like even every other game on the slate, something, either the sharp money or the big money bet or the pro system or the projection or the experts are on, at least one of those is on one side of these bets. At least. There's 10 different spots that I could see something showing. And at least one of them in every game all year has had something. This game has nothing. And the bets and the money are a split 60-40 dead even.
Yeah, I wouldn't dare say my money is smart, but I did bet 10.5 on the Raiders earlier this week.
10.5 is real good.
And it was on the premise that Josh Jacobs was going to play. And AP did verify today, actually, that Josh Jacobs is going to battle through, like I'm trying to battle through tonight with my voice. But Josh Jacobs is going to play at some capacity this weekend.
Yeah. No, I think the thing we haven't mentioned about this game, which is very important as well, the Raiders are coming off, what is this, 11 days of rest?
Correct.
That's a long time. That's almost a whole bye week. So they're probably feeling good. They just won 63-0 or 63-20, whatever it was. I'm assuming they're just going to be in a good mood, ready to play, and stun the Chiefs. Like, just say screw you. Let the Broncos win the division.
And like I said, I don't believe the Raiders are necessarily going to win this game, but I don't think they're losing by 10 or more.
Right. They definitely have the ability to keep it close.
Taylor
In the 11
Swift on
days rest
Christmas Day. You don't think
God.
Kansas City's scoring like 100? Like, are you guys literally serious? Like, I'm gonna say that just knowing that I don't disagree with you. I think the Raiders cover. But,
I think they do too. Yep.
But that's just because Kansas City's been kind of meh on offense this year. That being said, Christmas Day, Kansas City home game, Swifty's been there. Oh my God.
It is kind of insane the how you wouldn't just assume that the Kansas City is a safe bet at this point of the year. I think one thing
weird,
that we haven't. Go ahead, Gov. You were saying?
No, I was just gonna agree with you. Like, I think it's weird that
especially Kansas City at home.
Yeah, Kansas City at home, just like it shouldn't be a debate, but it has been just because of how they played all year.
I also think the over at 41 is enticing.
Same. If Raiders can put up any points, now like that's the one thing that saved Kansas City is like their defense has tightened up and been solid all year long.
And the fact that the Raiders got Jack Jones on defense, sorry, Donnie, I know that stings to hear, but I think he's going to give guys like Rashee Rice a little bit of trouble.
Let's be honest, both of these teams kind of need this game for playoff positioning.
Yeah, well, the Raiders, they're playing for jobs, the coaching for jobs. This is huge for them.
Well, they still legitimately still have a chance at the playoffs, given how the AFC is just kind of falling off.
It's a very, very tight race.
This has been a very... It just goes in line with this NFL season just being completely strange, where nobody looks great this year, but there are some good teams. And everybody else is just getting all kinds of upset wins.
Well, I saw a stat earlier this week that, like, I think it was like 60% of the games have been decided by one possession this year. That's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
Like, there's only been, like, 20% of the games that were definitive blowouts.
Yeah, that seems way too small. I don't know if defenses are just getting better, if people are, like, following the metrics like Brandon Staley tried.
You know what it is? You know what it is? Offenses are probably just more sloppy because of less practicing and stuff.
And the preseason shortening to 3 games. I don't know if that 4th game really mattered, but...
Yeah, but that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
that's
but, you
happening all
know,
over the
that's
league,
still less practice, so it's just...
Yeah, no,
you know,
it's a big deal.
sloppier.
It really is. It is. It's especially early in the year. Like, teams are a lot better now, but they're also... How many of them are truly healthy now still? That's
Continuity is, like, very important now. I mean, it always was important, but now it's especially important because you just, like, look at the Eagles. They can't get an offense together still.
And they lost to the fucking Jets, too.
Yeah, I know.
So, anyway, I forgot whose pick it is next, but I'm taking the fucking Raiders.
I believe it's my pick for the comeback, right?
No, that was Evan on the comeback. You had the first pick.
So you go last, Logan.
That's right.
Was it you, Donnie? Yeah.
Yeah, it's me. I'm sticking in the same division, making it quick. Packers -4 against arguably the worst team in the league in the Panthers. The Panthers just won. Makes me feel even better about it.
Yeah, not much to say about that one, and I kind of wish in retrospect I'd have taken that one, but I just wanted to go big for my last pick, and yeah, I don't see how the Packers would fail to... I mean, they did just lose to the Giants.
They might be, you know, a 17-15 game or something like that, but I just like to believe that, you know, maybe Aaron Jones is back and he just has a great game.
You're trying to goad me into taking my Panthers against you, aren't you? Like, this is what you're doing. I know what you're doing.
You've never won. Come on, Goff. You've never beat me.
The problem is, DK is giving people a damn good line that has not adjusted yet in my stuff.
They've done really good this week online.
I'll say right now, there's plenty of other books. You can get that at 5 right now, people. Take Panthers at 5. All right? Don't take the Packers -5. But, like, at -4, I think it's kind of an even bet. So, like, I don't have a reason to take it.
I'm expecting, 20
I even
to
see
14.
it at 5.5 in some places. Like, so.
Yeah, 5.5 too much.
DK has definitely adjusted this quickly.
Yeah, and this would not surprise me if this had to come down to a game-winning field goal by the Packers, considering how fucking terrible they were against the Giants.
No, I'm just trusting that whole division to win by 4.
The only thing that petrifies me, Donnie, that you might lose this bet is that the Panthers, they literally are not trying to tank. So they might be terrible, but they're not purposely trying to lose. So they might actually be competitive against another
I
bad
don't
team.
really think NFL teams try to tank. I think the owners and GMs might, but I don't think the coaches and players do.
Oh, I think last year's Bears absolutely tanked.
But again, Fields doesn't play the last, a little bit. It's a little different.
And the thing is even if they did or didn't, there is no incentive for them to do so in this season, given the draft pick is not their own. So even if that was your rationale, it doesn't really fit the scenario. So they might actually cover the spread on accident, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. And it's also worth noting that the only 2 wins the Panthers have had this season were both at home, which I like those odds against a really bad road Packer team.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't trust the Packers. Honestly, I almost went with a different, bigger spread, but I just, this is a disappointing team, so I'll just wait on it, and we can talk about it after.
It's all good.
Go
Okay.
ahead,
I'm
Gov.
like, I mean, to be fair, with everything now, you guys have left me with two very, very ugly bets that I don't know if I want to take. But I kind of need to take one of them.
Flip a coin.
Okay.
Eeny,
Click.
meeny, miny, mo.
I'll let you guys decide.
No, come on.
Each one of you
No,
pick a
it's
number
yours.
1 to
It's
5.
yours. It's yours.
No. I already know what's going to happen. I have decided even odd. Each one of you guys pick a number 1 to 5. I'm going to add them together.
Okay, well, I guess that's vague enough to where we don't know what he's gonna do, but
Give me a random number. 1 to 5. 1 to 5.
2.
Donnie.
3.
Logan.
2.5.
All right, so we got 7.5. Okay. That works. Fuck you, Logan, but that works.
Hey, I figured since we're going with betting odds, we got to throw a half number in
There's
there.
a 7.5 in that number for that team. Okay, I'll take it.
2 odds.
Not in the actual spread. But...
Are you taking the Patriots at Broncos game?
No. It's not the spread that's 7.5. It's one of the metrics. So, it's an ugly game. It's very ugly.
Patriots Broncos so ugly.
It's very ugly. Yeah, I got an uglier game.
Which one?
So there's an NFC East team,
Oh,
or I'm sorry, an AFC East team. Just like it's not and it's not the Patriots.
He's picking the Dolphins.
No,
I bet it's the Bills, isn't it?
no, I'm gonna take the Washington football team to beat the New York Jets.
Oh, dear.
Plus 4.
Oh,
what is
God.
it? Plus 3. Plus 3. Plus 3.
Oh,
Plus 3.
God.
I think I just passed the kidney stone. Oh God.
What is-
Commanders!
What?
Oh!
Oh.
Yeah, that's as ugly as it can be. But
Where do you get to that? What
Sharp-
metric had you there?
Sharp money, big money projection model, and the bets on the game are just an even 50-50. So like,
But I guess Trevor Simeon is starting.
I will say Trevor Simeon is starting.
you
and
know Washington's gonna chuck it. The Jets are the Jets. Do I have to? It's the Jets with Trevor Simeon. Do I need say more?
There's a reason
I get it. Sam Howell and the Commanders. I get it.
Is there a reason to talk about this game? This game in particular.
Like, if you want, I can give you the other game that I was gonna pick. The
We'll
8
wait
on
till
the
Logan
7.5.
We'll wait till Logan picks.
Yeah,
And
I
then
don't want to
we'll do
steal
that.
his pick in case he takes it.
If you can muster it, Logan. Sorry.
I actually had a question.
Yep.
Who of this coaching staff do you actually think gets another head coaching job or a coaching job at all?
Rivera will get another coaching job if he wants it.
Do you
Yeah.
think so?
Oh yeah,
He'll get lead minimum.
maybe not a
offers at
head coaching job. I could see him going back to being a DC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
if he wants to. I mean,
And Robert Saleh will definitely. Assuming he gets let go by the Jets, he'll probably have to take another coaching / coordinator job of some sort.
yeah, I'll go back to the Niners.
Yeah, I actually don't mind this too much because you're getting the Commanders at +3 with Simeon as a Jets quarterback. So I don't mind it. I would take the under though. My God, that's terrible.
That's an ugly game, man. All right, Logan, finish us out.
Let's see. Yeah, the game I love, the game I can't believe you guys didn't take. Give me the Colts at 2.5 +2.5. I think they're the most talented team. I don't understand how they're the dog. They're getting the most talent, injection this week with Jonathan Taylor. Now, potentially they might lose Zach Moss. It'll be interesting to see which they lose. first, Zach Moss or my voice, but they are getting Jonathan Taylor back. So, with that being said, the Falcons are going back to Taylor Heineke for some reason. I don't
Because
know.
Ritter's trash.
Yeah, that might be the case, but I don't know why Heineke is the choice. With that being said, I will take the Colts, who are also going to be playing Michael Pittman this week as well. So I just think the Colts are more talented.
I think Michael Pittman is expected to play, even though they did mention his shoulder issue that's still bugging him.
He will play for sure, they said.
Yeah, they're desperately trying to win games.
Yeah. I don't love this defense that the Colts have. I mean, it's easy to beat up on a bottom feeder team like the Panthers or even the Buccaneers for that matter, but at the same time, I don't love this defense. I think they'll do okay hunky-dory against the Falcons, who are obviously mismanaged by Arthur Smith, but I kind of agree with the spread with how close it is. And
Well,
I don't know who's going to win this game.
My argument would be the Colts should just be favored if it's a pick'em because they have the best record since Week 9 outside of the Niners.
Let's see. How do I put
They're
this?
5-1 since Week 9.
How do I put this?
That's impressive.
Yeah, 4-1 over the last 5.
It's a good thing I didn't say the other pick before Logan made his, because that was it.
My other pick was the Bills. I just can't trust them to do it. But they're on
The
such
other
a hot
one the metrics were giving me that I flipped the coin on was Indy.
Before we move away from the picks, I wanted to go back one to Gov's vomit-inducing pick of the Commanders. It's Commanders are on a 5-game losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Jets enough to break that losing streak?
Mm-hmm.
No.
So Logan is saying no.
Well,
What were you saying, Donnie?
I'm not saying yes either. I'm just saying ugly. I really don't want to watch it.
So when the Commanders lose 13-12, I'm all good.
That totally would be the score for a game like that too.
I don't like this. But I gotta trust my numbers. It's the only thing that's gonna get me through to the end.
Okay.
I paid good money for a red zone this year, and
Like, honestly, if I trust my numbers all the way, I'm gonna go 2-0, and Donnie's gonna go 0-2 because my numbers are against his. Although I don't think the Cardinals are actually gonna do that, but my numbers do say the Panthers can cover. So we'll see.
I
Might be
think
completely
though, I
wrong,
think
or we'll see. It's gonna be close.
that
gonna
being
be
said,
close.
though, I think there's a lot of fun games this week to watch. I really do like a lot of matchups this week. So there is some ugly games, but I do think a wide variety of games are actually very good this week. Are you guys ready to build?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You want to start? Let's deal with the Saturday night build.
I think so. We're gonna have to go widescreen on Evan here, just so people don't get my screen. You know, it's the holiday season. I'm in the season of the giving mood, I guess. But I don't want to give up my password. So, Evan, if you could just go full screen for me for a moment, that'd be good.
Absolutely. Well, you have control of that.
And now you've stopped that. Yeah.
Well, hold on. Yeah, don't worry.
There we go. Now I'm back.
As much as I love
Hey!
your DraftKings password.
Yeah, I for some reason forgot I was on a computer and actually tried to like manually enter my password with my fingertips. So that was why that happened.
Ironically, with my background with Chicago being frozen, it's raining outside right now in Chicago.
It's also very warm here. They said it's going to be the first green Christmas
Yeah.
in Michigan in quite some time. So,
Yep.
Wow.
And we've got the same weather expected.
which I think is actually good for a lot of overs this week in terms of betting, because usually the colder weather does affect some of these games. and it is abnormally warm in a lot of these Midwestern states. So uh, that could actually be a lean one way or the other. Speaking of gambling, but we are ready now to get on with our next segment, I guess you would call it. So you
Yep.
guys wanted to start with Sunday. Was there any pillars that you guys wanted to discuss tonight before we started to build?
I honestly didn't have a pillar specifically for any
I
of the
did not
slates.
have pillars there.
Seems like the days that the games are being played, like the Saturday slate and a Sunday night slate, or possibly a Monday night slate or Monday slate, seems like those would be the best ideas.
Yeah, like they're so split up. Like I haven't been able to get a pillar for each week. Now, when we
That's
look
fair.
at the slate, I might be able to find like a block I like. We'll see.
Yeah.
But like we'll discuss that when we get to the slate. I'm opening it up myself so I can look. Okay, so we have a Saturday slate. So if we start with that, that's a 2-game slate. So that's a
Okay.
fun one to build for because there's not a lot of
I
options.
agree.
So did you
Like,
want to
even-
start with a Saturday slate then?
Yeah, let's just do a
Yes.
Saturday slate.
Let's just do it in
Start
order.
Okay. Let me,
All right. Yeah, you get it ready, Logan. Well, let's see. So we can start discussing. I have it on my screen. So like, we'll start like it's Cincinnati at Pittsburgh, and then we have Buffalo at the Chargers. Interesting. So that means we have a slate where you have Josh Allen, and then the next starting quarterbacks are Jake Browning. Great. I guess you put anyone with J and B in their name on Cincinnati and it runs okay. Cool. Then you have Hockey Stick starting for the Chargers. That's great. Love that too. Thrilled for that one. Then instead of getting Mitchell Trubisky, we get Mason the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Hey, Mason Rudolph Christmas is kind of fun.
It's not even but the problem is he's not playing on Monday. He's not even Christmas Eve. He's playing like the date. He's playing on the 23rd.
Oh, don't be a party pooper.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah, he's Eve. Yeah.
They should have flexed it. Also, Keenan Allen's out. So
Yep.
that's something else too.
Right. So Hockey Stick doesn't have a big weapon. I know that, but even just thinking about quarterback, like Rudolph at 4,800, I think is playable on this slate, but I kind of want to just play Josh Allen because.
But if it's a blowout, then you just play Cook and you don't need Allen.
The problem is if it's a blowout and it didn't all go through Cook in the first place, it's because Allen has 25 or 30, and he's the only quarterback that realistically can do that.
the real question is, how many people are going to get drunk on eggnog and click Kyle Allen instead of Josh Allen?
Not
Buffalo
many.
Bills?
No one. Plenty of people will play
shocked.
Trubisky instead of Rudolph who didn't hear the news.
Well, hopefully both of those things happen. If I'm being honest.
I forgot Kyle Allen is still even in the NFL.
Well,
That's
I
a
also heard a rumor that they actually think Rudolph was more talented than Trubisky. They are just worried about his maturity, given the last time he played was with the Myles Garrett incident.
Even before then, though, Mason Rudolph is not good. He's just a below-average backup.
That's what I always thought, but some people still think he's talented.
That's why, I think, on such a small slate, it might be tough. I think we just play Allen at quarterback.
I mean, he has by far the highest ceiling, by far the lowest floor. It makes sense.
I think we start there and then we snake draft.
I'd be fine with playing Jake Browning if we wanted to get off Saturday chalk, but I bet Browning would also be up there.
I think Browning's the chalk. People are not paying up for Josh Allen.
I actually think Browning
On
will
a
be
short
higher
slate.
owned than
I
Josh
think
Allen.
actually Mason Rudolph starting at 4,800 might be the chalk so that you can fit in a Diggs or an Eckler or James Cook and Mixon or something.
Yeah.
which
Like,
makes
there's-
sense. But what I'm thinking is, even at 8,100, playing against a Charger team that just fired their GM and head coach and are phoning it in for the season, wouldn't this just be a fucking blowout?
It could be, but as I've heard some like smart people I listen to, as they've said, if they blow them out, they scored a bunch of points. That means a bunch of people got fantasy points. That means they probably had really good games. And even if they pull them, it won't be until the fourth. So the key is, can Josh Allen get that 25 to 26 in 3 quarters? And he probably can. And if he does, that's when Buffalo has like 30 points on the board going into the fourth, and you might see them take their foot off the gas. I think it's also more realistic against this Charger team that it come through Josh Allen than it come through James Cook having like 100+ yards and 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns. I do think if Buffalo blows them out, it's not 100% through James Cook, and Josh Allen is also having a game.
Personally, I think this is how a lot of casuals are going to build this slate, for example.
And like once you put the cheap defense in there, you have all the money in the world to do it.
Right.
So like I do think it will be something like that, or even with Mason Rudolph and a Pittsburgh guy, but some variation of that.
Right.
Yeah. Did you want to finish that example, Logan, or do we want to get started with Josh Allen?
No, I just think this is the core. This is the core popular build that most people are going to do.
Yeah.
So as long as we do something other than this, I think we're off to the races.
I'm totally fine with skipping Diggs.
I am as well, but I think a lot of people will do it because I do not want to play Davis.
I don't want to play Davis.
I don't think this is the week to do it either.
Yeah. All right. How are we gonna do the draft? Do we want to just do reverse order? Do Evan?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. Let's
all right,
do
let's
that.
do that.
All right. So Josh Allen is our wild card. So I will start with a cheap-ish wide receiver. Let's go. Let's go with the safe-ish.
I just was able to pull up projections. Sorry.
Oh, perfect. Let's do the safe bet here, Josh Palmer.
I like that, Palmer.
I don't see who else is gonna catch passes.
Does look like Josh Allen is coming in as like the
Well,
highest.
I will say Gerald
Him and
Everett did
Brown.
have 8 targets.
He did, but he's not the big play threat that Palmer is.
He's not, and he's also not the touchdown tight end either. Really, that would be
And I think
hard.
a lot of people are going to play a lot of that early game, especially it being Christmas Eve. I think a lot of grown adults will be putting their kids to bed. They'll want their lineups structured and, nice and tidy by the time it's time to wind down. I think a lot of people are going to underestimate the timing of this slate in relation to how they build. Now, some people might not think that's important, but I actually think that's quite important this week. But we'll see.
Hey, Logan, I know you're a fan of cheap tight ends. Doesn't this feel like a Stone Smart game from the Chargers?
No.
Well,
You got Everett in. I think Parnham's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say that mostly in jest because this Charger team is basically phoning it in, and knowing them, they'd somehow get the ball in Smart's hands in the red zone, and nobody would even start him.
Oh, I've already got a plan for how we're going to deal with that. Don't worry.
I might go double tight end, but I wouldn't pay down at tight end on purpose in this slate. But I might do that for Christmas, though. I do have a plan for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and put this tight end argument to rest with my pick. The Bengals are one of the worst teams against tight ends this year, fantasy-wise. I'm just gonna put Pat Freiermuth in there.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
The moof is loof.
Does anybody know if Rudolph likes throwing to the tight end as a safety blanket?
No, I haven't seen him play in a long time.
I know the new offensive coordinator definitely does. Pat Freiermuth's passing yardage has went way up since the new offensive coordinator took over. Who knows if that correlates with, Pat Frymuth just being healthy or not, but that could be the case as well.
Okay. It's my pick now, right?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I have to brace myself. This is another one of those, like, I'm picking the Washington Commanders kind of thing.
Take your time. I'm going to soothe my voice just one more moment.
We're going to play Isaiah Spiller at running back.
Oh, God. Ugh. I might spill my own guts. Ugh.
That's pretty disgusting, man.
I know, but with that ownership, the fact that, as we've said, the Chargers may just phone it in, they might not use Eckler as much. I think I've seen Spiller been getting touches.
He had 16 carries last week. 16.
For 50 yards.
What? So just wait until he starts getting passing game work. Oh, God.
Can he even catch much?
I don't know. I might be mixing him up with CJ
Hold on.
Spiller. I probably am.
No, I told you I was going to rest my voice, and then you play the guy I really love. He got double the carries of Austin Eckler last week.
But why do you love him?
Because he does have pass game work. He does have that in his college profile. He saw
They just
double the
haven't
work.
used him for the Chargers because they have Eckler.
Yeah, but I do think they're going to move away from Eckler now that they're out of playoff contention.
Agreed. And I
Yeah.
like at basically no ownership. Like there we go. The lineup's already looking juicy.
Yeah, and he's minimum price, and he already saw double the workload
He's
of Austin Eckler.
super cheap. And like, you want a cheap running back? Well, I got you a cheap running back, Donnie.
Yeah, and look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a cheap running back. Yeah, that's
They
that's what I
tried.
was gonna say. Yeah, he's cheap. Yeah.
They tried Kelly. And Kelly's not the answer either, so
Kelly's trash.
that's not happening. But Spiller played at Texas A&M and also saw workload in the receiving game. He's capable. I will say
Yeah,
that.
I do think it's telling that half his carries this season came last week.
Yeah.
After they announced that Eckler possibly was losing his job anyway.
Yeah, which is a big fuck you to an Austin Eckler, but that's on brand for the Chargers. They did the exact same thing to Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, we have a lot of money.
I like
So-
this.
Yep. Next pick would be Gov.
Wait. No, that was Gov's pick, so now it's
that was Gov, so it's Logan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna play probably the safest play on the board, I think, this week. Give me James Cook.
I love
Good.
this play.
Hell yeah.
We have the money. He saw the workload. You're gonna have to prove to me that he doesn't get the work before I stop playing it, because he's been super impressive. I don't know who's picking his next. I don't think it matters. This team
I
is
don't-
It's yours.
Are
we
we
are-
snaking?
yeah.
Do we usually snake? I don't remember. I didn't think.
No,
this-
we
I
do.
don't-
We snake.
It's
All right,
fine.
You
All
reverse
right.
order from the spread.
Yours.
No-
It's yours,
No
yeah.
step on Sneck.
I'm gonna save some money just to see what you guys do. Give me with Chase being out, give me Boyd.
Okay.
I want to be a little different. Get off the chalk a little bit with T Higgins. So give me Boyd here.
Yep, Boyd is usually the next guy up to play very well when either Chase or Higgins goes down.
Yeah, he always does well in this scenario. Gov, go ahead, buddy.
You put it in. See, how much is these two guys different? This is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt.
No, we can do it.
No, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can. I don't think I can do it again. I don't think I'm gonna have to do it again.
Gonna go off and Eckler?
No, I'm gonna say Gabe Davis.
Oh god.
God damn it.
Well, I mean, this kind of does.
Don't pull up his box score. Don't do it.
I was just thinking if he even saw.
Don't do Oh God! No, don't look at his last 3 weeks. Don't do it. Don't do
No,
it.
but
Don't
it
look at-
does make
don't look
it
at-
does
don't do
make
it.
perfect sense. This is the
I
exact
really
scenario.
don't. I really don't want to
Scenario where
play
he
this
would
play,
boom
but
because he's literally don't look at his three. It doesn't matter that 3 of the last 4 weeks he's had a 0. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's the fucking Chargers. Who's gonna stop Gabe Davis this week?
Gabe Davis is going to stop.
Gabe Davis.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
When everyone see, we all know it. We all know it.
I would rather
He's going to
play.
either win us a turn. He's either going to win Double J the mini max, or he's going to lose everything for all of us. That's
and
what it is.
I would rather lose than win with Gabe Davis. So, I
So you
I
now
guess.
hate our
That's
lineup.
why.
I know. Thank God that Donnie, it's your pick, and then Evan will get to finish it out.
Yes.
Yeah,
Do you want the
yeah.
flex or defense?
Yeah, just throw the Bills defense in there, buddy.
It's logical.
It's got to be the most chalky, I'm assuming.
It's not even
We
the
don't-
most expensive.
Yeah.
It's we're off the chalk with the Spiller stuff. We're off the chalk probably with the game. I don't know. Maybe Gabe Davis. is high,
No, we
but-
are off. Like Gabe Davis, Isaiah Spiller, they are not chalk. The
So-
rest of the lineup is a little chalky. Palmer's not super chalky. Like
Isaiah's
not
going to
chalky.
be
Higgins
our
is chalk.
difference. So
So we have a lot of motherfucking money we could be spending after I pick this flex pick, which will give
Yeah.
us some opportunities to upgrade here.
Double tight end and go Kincaid.
That is tempting, but I do want to spend a teensy bit more here. Excuse my background noise if you can hear that. I live in Chicago. It happens. Give me Joe Mixon.
they're trying to get us off Gabe Davis. That's what the emergency is.
Yeah, that was the Kincaid suggestion. I think and go Higgs, but I get going Mixon.
Yes.
I don't think it's possible to like. I managed to do it, but I think there's very much a lot of ways you can be comfortable and not spend close to all your salary. Like you could leave 1,000 on the table and be like, yeah, this is the lineup I'd like to be at.
But I don't want to leave 1,600 on the table.
I know it seems ugly, but you can't do it and win. I definitely think. Well, we need a player.
We would have to eat a bit more chalk, but we could get up to Higgins. Not saying we
Well,
have to.
I
just
would
saying
get up.
we
I would
have
get up
to.
to Kin. I would argue we get up to Kincaid and just take Pat out.
That's a good start.
Yeah,
That's
but
a-
Kincaid saw 0 targets last week.
Yeah, that's what I do. It's my pick anyway on the tight end. I believe that I pick Fryermuth, so just go Kincaid and see where we're at.
And then we have 400 left on the table if we get Fryermuth replaced with Kincaid. Why is Gabe Davis gone?
Because
So
we're
I
gonna
just
come
want
out.
to show the people what they should do,
Okay.
not what we're gonna do. Trying to save people some money here.
It's not awful, Logan. It
It
has
is.
potential.
I can't even pretend it's awful.
Like let's see, Muth to Kincaid.
Muth Kincaid is terrible as well
Why?
because Kincaid has saw 0 targets since Knox came back.
I mean, that's the only one he had. He's played at the same time as Knox.
Knox
Yeah.
has been hurt most of the season. How many games has Kincaid been back? 2? Or Knox has been back 2? Because he got 2 targets last week, and I'm
That
pretty
was
sure
just-
Kincaid
well,
or Fox,
Yeah.
Knox was back in the Kansas City game where
I
Kincaid
thought
got 8.
I thought he just came back in week 15. Maybe I'm wrong, but
Also, they didn't need to really throw it. Josh Allen didn't even throw last week.
Yeah,
so,
it was all James Cook against Dallas.
yeah.
They didn't throw it all. I think you're overblown on that. Kincaid is still definitely a target. for them.
Knox had 0 targets
I
last
will
week.
say I like Kincaid a lot better than I like Gabe Davis, but we're playing 2 guys that got 0 last week.
Josh
But
Allen had
that-
100 less than 100 passing yards. Let's not.
Yeah, that was a very weird game from Buffalo that they blew, where, like, again, it's the scenario that I keep saying, like, I don't see a scenario where they blow out the team and it's all through James Cook, which is what they did last week against Dallas.
Yeah, I'm not saying this lineup is terrible. I just don't understand the Gabe Davis play.
The Gabe Davis is part of our stack. Like, Josh Allen going off, like, means he had some pass attempts. So, like, if that's happening, we need 2 pass catchers. So,
yeah,
like,
and if
we
Spiller
have
plays,
Kincaid and Davis, then, like, it could be Kincaid and Diggs. It could be Diggs and Shakir. Like, it could be a lot of stuff like that.
You know what I just thought of that makes me not like the Spiller play? New coach. It's a different staff, man.
We're keeping Spiller, man.
Yeah. Like, if anything, the new staff's going to want to use their young guys that they have.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what, you're afraid he's not going to use Spiller to do what? Use Eckler more?
He's a linebacker.
Use Joshua Kelly?
Oh,
Eckler.
God.
It's Eckler.
He's a linebacker coach. He's not going to reinvent the offense.
Yeah.
So the next lineup, do we want to just do the Monday slate with 3 games?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, let's skip to that one. Then we can do a Sunday slate afterwards.
Perfect.
That'd be the Lamar Jackson dummy lineup that I had built here. Here we are. So I think the biggest question here is, do we build? I like that we picked the quarterback as a combined and then we drafted. So I do think we should do that for the remainder of tonight's builds. So where would you like to go at quarterback if it was up to the 3 of us?
I'm tempted to go Aiden O'Connell, but I think the Chiefs' secondary is going to make that tough to get the passing touchdowns because I think it's going to be a Jacobs game.
Yeah, I like Lamar Jackson because of the rushing and passing upside. I think he has the double bonus potential.
Yeah, I don't see Baltimore beating San Francisco, though. I think they're going to give Lamar a really hard time.
They don't need to, actually. I think they're going to push Baltimore to score, and that's all you really need.
Like, I'm inclined to just go Jalen Hurts, honestly.
Wouldn't he be chalkiest?
I'm a little scared of going Jalen Hurts because if it's a blowout, do they even use him like that?
I do not currently have ownership for Monday.
Who do you think can actually get 30 points in this quarterback room, though?
To be honest, the only 2 I think would come from the Baltimore game. I think Purdy and Jackson are the only 2 capable of doing it. I don't think Hurts will have to score 30 points.
I don't think any of these quarterbacks are going to get to 30. I think that's too high of a bar.
I don't think any of them will. I think 25 is the ceiling in the slate.
Yeah.
In that case, I think I'd rather just go Purdy because he's the cheapest.
Yeah, I'm fine with Purdy.
As long as it's not DeVito. That's how I...
I wouldn't be... Like, I'd rather play DeVito than I would have rather played Mason Rudolph in the last slate.
All right, so we can draft the rest of this lineup. I agree with Brock Purdy being the play. I think there's going to be a lot of points in the Baltimore.
All right,
so
let's reverse it so that we can give Logan some time. So Logan, you make the first pick.
Yeah, give me Rashad Bateman.
Why Rashad Bateman?
Just quick.
Flowers was in a walking boot most of the week. He is going to play, but he was limited most of the week this week.
He was full participant on Friday.
He was full participant on Friday, but
he has no injury designation.
Yeah, he's going to play.
Yeah, he might, but I like Bateman this week.
Yeah, I will respectfully disagree with that one.
At that price,
I would rather just play Odell, but if he gets 6-something targets, then yeah.
Yeah, I think OBJ would be more solid.
I'm really fine with either of the any of the Ravens receiver. Actually, I think is a fine play.
And I saved us some money doing it though. I think with Bateman, and he has seen a really good catch percentage in terms
Flowers
of
is the only one with a ceiling. So if you're gonna play one and you're just going to go cheap, you might as well.
It doesn't feel like any. Yeah, it doesn't feel like any of the Ravens receivers are safe picks anyway. Ever since they lost Andrews, it's just been a mess.
Yeah.
He
All
does
right,
like Isaiah Likely, though, I will say as well.
I don't like Likely this week because of Fred Warner and that defense. I think they're going to want to take, that kind of dump down stuff away.
See, I do like Likely this week on the Monday slate, looking at it for the first time, just because he's the cheapest of all the tight ends. It's like he's gonna get as much volume, like as the only tight end who's gonna get more volume than him is Kelsey.
It's Kelsey. I do have a
it's
cheap
your
tight
pick
end
of-
play, though.
It
But
depends. Do I take the value pick or do I pick my guy?
Pick whoever you want.
Jam him in.
Who's him?
He is
You
him.
know.
Yes.
HIM. CMC.
Yes. That is how you spell CMC. HIM.
Nice.
All capital, of course.
the goat,
Yes. The C, the M, the C, and the H, and the I. Yes.
the white goat, right?
Yeah.
Yes. As Richard Mendenhall would I assume think the white goat.
No, he probably still thinks it's Mike Allstott or something.
Yeah.
For fullbacks, that would be true.
Yeah. The way.
I think that's what he thinks all white players
Yep.
are. Anyway.
We'll figure out value later. Just jam in CMC. I don't care
Yeah.
if it's
No,
Gold
don't worry.
or
I
it's
got
CMC.
a value play.
All right. Would that make it mine?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I see the tight end prices?
There's a minimum price tight end this week. I'll say that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we can afford it, but
We can.
you know what? Yeah, let's jam in Kelsey, baby.
Dang, we're spending big bucks tonight.
Yeah, you're glad I saved you money with Bateman now, aren't you?
Do it. Just do it.
Christmas.
Oh, I got another salary saver if you leave him for me.
Yeah, me too.
All right. Well, it's your pick, Evan.
Alrighty. Well, since we spent a lot of fucking money, that means I gotta go cheap here.
Yeah.
I can't wait till Guffs jams in Boston Scott eventually.
Well, just leave
Like
me
where
the
they're
fuck.
like the highest price defense is 3,400. So you're gonna have a lot more than 4,600 left anyway.
Right.
Just leave me the flex and we'll be fine.
Okay.
Find a
Well,
wide receiver you like.
let's see.
I can
Probably
pull
not
anything
named
you
AJ
need,
Brown.
Evan, by the way.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep things simple. I'm gonna pick the defense special teams. Let's put the Eagles in there.
God damn it! I wanted to pick the defense.
Now it's your problem, Donnie. Oh wait, we're flexing. Wait, I'm sorry, we're snaking. I have to pick the next one anyway.
Nah.
Yeah.
All right. What's my next one gonna be? Ooh, do I go Trey Tucker? Do I go Trey Tucker?
No.
Do I do it?
You could just do what I'm gonna do.
Actually, I'm not. Oh, I got a good one. Justin Watson, baby.
Oh God.
Damn it.
Christmas Watson. Like, oh God. Oh God.
He has been seeing a lot less volume lately, but just like he did against the Eagles, I think this is his bounce back.
All right. That
Yeah,
gives us what?
that
5K
makes-
average.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
can
50,
handle it.
53. Could be
Can you show,
59.
can you show me the running backs?
You want the running backs? I got you.
Yeah.
I love how the mood just sank in this session after I picked Watson.
I actually don't think that's
Like,
a bad pick at all.
It's not horrible. He's sort of there for Kansas City.
Look, I think as long as we don't pick Tony, I think we're good. I think
Yes, agreed.
Well, you know
Tony
what?
Tony's on his way out.
Yeah.
How
Oh,
about we go in there and get Gus Bus?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, he's the
Because it's
only
San
running back
Francisco.
really there. You know what? They're gonna have to move the ball somehow, man.
If they do, it's going to be through Lamar. I don't think it's going to be Gus Bus, but you do you.
Hey, we're not playing Lamar
He's
anyway.
gonna have 15. He's gonna have 15 touches minimum. So.
Yeah, now with Keaton Mitchell gone, it's probably going to have to go to him.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the play here. It's just a volume play.
Yeah, nothing wrong with chasing volume, that's for sure.
I do think for the record, they did sign Kenyon Drake back.
Yeah.
I do think that's a big deal.
Oh, no, it was Melvin Gordon.
Wasn't Gordon?
Melvin Gordon? Okay.
I wasn't sure which one they activated, but I heard they had signed them both back.
Yeah, and he's at the near the damn bottom of the list, too.
Yeah, that was a preseason signing for the
Whose
year.
pick is it now?
That would bring it to Gov.
Yeah, and unfortunately, with your last two picks, you boxed me out.
No, you can do anything you want, buddy.
Well, I mean, I don't want to do the other thing, and then it leaves us in a crap range. I'm looking right now.
Here's the thing. I'm willing to change afterwards if you want to bring this up and we well.
You can leave me in a crap range and telling you there's a mid tight end that's gonna.
We're gonna put Pacheco in this lineup.
I like
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
So had you not played Justin Watson or Gus Bus, and we would have needed value, I could have played Boston Scott and correlated with the defense. You guys would have had like $6K to play with per player. But no, you had to lock in Gus Bus for value. So fuck off. I'll spend the money. Pacheco.
I mean, we had to.
You don't even get my Boston Scott play now. Man.
All right, well, I can't do it now anyway, so I might as well mention it quickly. Myers is most likely going to miss this week, so Austin Hooper, at minimum, is an option for people that want to save money. But with this pick, I guess I will take the safest play here and just play Robinson.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, the way to beat the Eagles is with passing. That's for sure.
Yeah, you could play Hyatt here, but I don't think we need the upside. And we definitely don't want to take the 0.
I love Jalen Hyatt, too. Like, I even drafted him in my Dynasty League, but he just doesn't get enough volume, and I don't get it.
Yeah, but as long as we don't take a 0 from anyone in this lineup, I think we cash.
Right, yeah. We played a lot of guys who will get volume.
Yeah, and Wandale's a safer one from the Giants.
And I think we played a very good balanced lineup. Like, everyone on this team is going to get usage. So it would make sense to go Hyatt and hope for usage. You could play Robinson, who has already gotten the.
Yeah, see, the problem is all the guys that I think are decent plays in this range go against our defense.
Can I ask, like, how much carries has Boston Scott even gotten this year? Can you please pull up Boston Scott's card?
2.
2 carries all year.
I'm not even
I think I would have had to strangle you guys.
That's actually not true.
No, he had 3 week 14, 1 week 13,
16.
2 week 12. Like, he averages 2 carries a game.
Okay, what I thought was
he's playing the
1.5.
Yes, and they normally Boston Scott is the guy who always scores a touchdown against the Giants. It just so happens they backloaded both Giants games to this week in week 18. So he hasn't gotten his chance to do that until right now.
Nonsense.
It's not nonsense. I do think there is like actual truth to it.
It's hearsay more than nonsense.
Yeah, here's the thing. If it's a blowout, they're going to give Boston Scott the ball to continue the tradition.
Oh, agreed. If there's a 4th touchdown to get, like, it's going to Boston Scott. That's where I'm like, if you see a 3rd tush push, just watch randomly how Boston Scott's in the Jalen Hurts spot.
It's like they just, instead of putting Boston Scott in the Jalen Hurts spot, they put Boston Scott behind him and they pitch it.
Knowing the Eagles, though, they're going to keep this game within 7 until the 4th quarter where they put it up to 14 and then beat the Giants by only 14 because they have not blown anyone out all year. Like, the biggest win they've had is over the Buccaneers by 14.
Yeah, I think this is where it changes for the Eagles, but like they have to win these these 2 Giants games by like 20 to not be, looked at wrong. Like they're not even close to a contender.
Are they playing the Giants twice in a row?
Not twice in a row,
one game
but it's
in
like
between.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like this week, then someone, then the Giants again.
Yep, you're right. It's the Eagles, Rams, and then Eagles again.
Yeah, Myers did not practice Friday again.
Yeah, he's
If
not
you,
playing.
if you guys want a minimum price, Hooper is also an option.
Yeah, it'd be curious to see if Austin Hooper does get the same treatment by Aiden O'Connell.
I do think there is some rookie to rookie correlation there.
I get why you guys wouldn't want to do it. I'm just saying if you need to save the money, it's a lot better than the Boston Scott play, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, I mean, Hooper was good when he was an Atlanta Falcon, but we're talking like 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. All right. I'm just saying if we're going to talk about Boston Scott, you got to give me a little bit of credit with Hooper.
Oh, yeah. Actually, yeah, we're talking longer than that. 2018 and 2019, he was the top 10 tight end. Dang.
All right.
Those were the days. Sunday lineup time.
Oh boy, I forgot we haven't done Sunday yet.
I usually say those for the 3 maxes just so I can keep an easy eye on them in case we build more than one. So let's just use this one for an example. Let's follow the traditional and pick a quarterback if we can as a collaborative pick here. Is there any quarterbacks that you guys want to mention that are good plays this week?
I've liked the cheap quarterbacks this week. Where it's like a Baker, I'm not mad at Flacco. I like these kind of quarterbacks this week. I'm not a fan of the high end guys.
Gardner Minshew doesn't get enough. I think I'd prefer Baker over Gardner.
Right.
I actually like CJ Beathard this week. If we get
like that's the range I want to be in, though. I don't care which one it is. You guys can decide that. I just don't want to pay up for quarterback this week.
I think the cheapest I'm willing to go is Flacco.
I would just play the chalk Justin Fields, honestly.
We want to play Fields? I'm fine with that, if you guys want to.
I'm okay with Fields. We'd have to have Donnie's approval.
I will settle for Fields because he would be the one expensive guy I'd be willing to play.
Like, Flacco would be the other guy I would play, I will say that, if you wanted to go cheap.
Right. It would so it's Flacco or Fields essentially is our argument right now.
Now, I will play Fields as long as we agree that we're bringing it back with McBride.
I don't think
I'm
I
not
don't.
agreeing to any Arizona player.
I'm not agreeing to any tight end against the
we're going to be
Bears.
drafting anyway, so
Yeah.
And I could definitely see McBride. Last week, 11 targets against San Francisco. Like, if
I'm
we
not
do,
saying we
I will
need
say
to-
this: if we do play an Arizona player, I think it needs to be McBride. But I'm not tied into actually.
That's
having
all
an
I mean.
Arizona
That's all
player.
I mean to say. I don't mean to say we need. I'm not locking you guys into doing it. I'm just saying
Like
I would
McBride would be
consider
the
it.
Arizona bring back in my
like
mind.
we're not
Yeah,
playing
yeah.
James Conner essentially.
yeah.
No, I'm not playing I'm definitely not playing a running back against that Chicago defense.
Right. All I'm saying is I don't want to play a naked Fields. Is essentially what I'm saying.
Well, no, we would want to go after somebody like a DJ Moore, who's still priced below 7,000.
I actually like Cole Kmet this week, but
Yeah,
I've seen
Cole Kmet, another
I've
good one.
seen Mooney popping in places, but I
No.
think
Yeah,
fool's gold.
That's something. Yeah, that's definitely something.
he did throw to Mooney at the end of the game.
Please no Mooney.
If the
Okay.
Bears fan is puking over Mooney, then I think that's time.
It's nothing personal against Mooney. I like him, but he's just not good enough. We tried to make him our number one receiver last year, and he just couldn't do it.
His price is good.
15 targets last 2 games.
Fuck his price. I mean, yeah, Fields came back. He likes to hit Mooney when he can, but Mooney's just not good enough.
No, Chicago needs another receiver to go with Moore. They really do.
Yeah, and Mooney ain't it.
But I could see doing Fields and Moore. Like, I definitely don't want to play naked Fields.
Yeah.
Not sure if we play an Arizona guy, but
That's all I'm agreeing to. I just don't want to play naked Fields. Whether we bring him back with the Arizona guy, Chicago guy, I just don't want to do this naked.
Okay, so we're gonna reverse this and start with me again.
Correct.
So, yeah, with how much he averages and being below 7K, I don't see why we skip DJ Moore here. This is a juicy matchup.
He's not just below 7K. He's 6,900.
Yes, very nice.
Nice.
Yeah. It,
All right, get DJ in there, baby.
it fits your narrative, doesn't it, Evan?
It's a Chicago guy at 6,900. Like it's the lock of his narrative. Like what the hell?
Exactly. And if you guys don't know the running joke with Evan, go back and like and subscribe our show, and you'll quickly find the inside joke there. But go ahead, Evan, with your next pick as you snake around
No,
here.
it's not. It's gonna snake your way. It's coming to
Yeah.
me now.
That's great. It's
I'm
gonna
just
snake
gonna
my
go. They're fighting for a playoff spot. This is the recipe to beat the team they're up against. Just go ahead and actually, I'm not even locked into this player. I'll give you guys the argument. I want one of Calvin Ridley or Christian Kirk.
Calvin Ridley or Christian Kirk?
Kirk probably would be safer
Kirk
if.
is out this week, isn't he?
Wait, is
is
he?
Kirk out? Yes, he might. You're right. He probably still is out.
Oh crap!
You're
I
right.
forgot he's still on IR. Yeah.
Definitely.
I think
Yeah,
it's
I forgot
Washington
that.
this week, buddy.
That's Calvin Ridley, baby.
All right.
Okay.
I don't know why that slipped my mind.
I could have sworn Kirk was back too. I'm with you on that.
I had Calvin Ridley already locked into one in
Let
personal.
me make
so
sure, but I
was
think
like,
he's out.
he is. Yeah.
Yeah.
IR.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
he won't be able to be back till the playoffs.
Yeah.
Correct. I just want to make sure because
All right, so that makes it my pick now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Who do we have on the slate? Who do we want? Who is the guy? Who's the dude? Who's the
Guy.
Who's the man? Who's been scoring a crap ton recently who just deserves it? Well, is there a cheap running back to play? That's the question.
yes, there is.
The Bears might be out of running back. Foreman might miss. I'm not sure on the whole. Evan probably can tell you more on
If
that.
you don't do it, I will do it. I tell you that.
Gov, do you love your Chuba? Do you love your Chuba?
No, I don't.
No, I
think
do
he's
not
good
either.
at all. The fact that he's getting all this volume and still hasn't broken like what, he had one good game at Tampa.
Yes.
Like it's strange. His two good games were against the two best rush defenses we played all year. And then you give him 23, 25 touches against New Orleans and Atlanta, and he goes and does what I would have expected, and that's nothing. Like, no, I don't think he's just going to have 25 points like he did against Tampa, against Green Bay. No. Yep, I don't see it. Like, I just don't. I'm starting to look at this, and I don't like anything on this slate.
It is a pretty ugly slate. That's why I wanted to go cheap quarterback on it.
Okay, let me think about this realistically.
Gov, maybe you need
Teams
to
on the
before you
slate
can,
already have Ridley in a field stack. So the other clear spot would be actually. Oh God, I'm so stupid. Brandon Cooks.
Nice.
That's a good pick. That's a really good pick.
I'm dumb. Misprice.
Is it my pick yet?
Yes, and you get two. So
I
take
get
your
two?
time. Yes.
I don't need much time. Not much time at all.
Go for it.
His name is Chandler,
Tie.
Ooh. Beanie Baby.
and McBride would be the other one. The Bears have shown they can't stop tight ends. Outside
Yes, they can.
No, they're like the bottom third team in the league against tight ends. You've been sieving points to them all year.
That's correct. And he might be getting the second most usage outside of Travis Kelce. Like I say, he's got like 20 targets in the last 2 weeks. McBride is the play here.
Well, in that case, that must just be specifically against Sam Laporta. My mistake.
Yeah, they shut down Sam Laporta. Yeah. Which, like, that was surprising because Laporta's been good all year.
Yes.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the one time where he
But, like, that's this late year football where, like, Tampa's been great against the run all year, and then Chuba has 100 yards against them.
which might have been Sam Porter's fault, but a lot of people said that was Jared Goff, who does really bad against your defense. Like, he does very bad against that cover 2 defense.
Yeah, and I'll take that.
So I don't know what to believe when it comes to that, but I do know he had a bad game.
Gov, what else would you like?
Well, okay, so he put in a little bit of value.
I think there's a lot of money there.
Bring back. Okay, that's good to know. This isn't going to... Where do I want to jam them in at? I'm going to jam someone in. I just don't know from where.
Now, my pick's not coming up, is it?
No, you made your 2.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use the restroom. I'll be right back.
No
Have at
problem. We will carry this for you. Okay, so... Like, running back on this slate is very interesting with Rachaad White as the most expensive guy.
Yeah.
It's a juicy matchup for Rashad.
I know, like but I'm looking at it and doing the math in my head, and there's not a feasible way to do that. Like, I think realistically, I need to stick to someone in the 6K range, whether it's in the running back or flex spot, so that there's a realistic player that can be played.
Is it Brees Lightning time?
No. Yes. Yes.
But you're going there?
No.
Come on.
Do it.
Come on. Come on.
No, because no. I think I have to. I think realistically I have to be smart with the math, and I have to just trust this. Okay, you guys are gonna hate me for tonight. Tonight is not a good night. I'm just playing all the shit beneath the shit tonight. Oh,
Let's hear it.
Antonio Gibson.
That's not bad.
It's not awful.
Yeah.
Without Robinson?
Without Robinson against the Jets.
I don't mind it at all because he's game script. He's
Don't
not.
talk from the bathroom, Logan. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm all set.
I know.
I heard
Like,
Gibson,
there's another good value running back that gives us stuff. Like, you can run on the Jets. He has the volume because, like, there's plenty of good reasons to play Antonio Gibson. And then he's Antonio Gibson.
All right. That brings it to my pick.
Do you want the defense, Donnie?
Yeah, Bears.
So that.
2,500.
Well,
I don't think I would do that with our Bears-Arizona stack.
I was gonna say we're also playing McBride. So do we think that's still gonna hold up?
Yeah, I'm not
McBride
sure
can
I'd do
score
that.
points, and the defense is fine.
I think, honestly, for 100 more, I would just take Jacksonville at Tampa. Like, Baker can have a bad game.
But I mean, he's still got Mike Evans, Godwin. He's still got some good weapons that Jacksonville struggled with.
Well, I can't
but, like,
go Jets defense.
Yeah, if I'd have went Reese, we could have gone the Jets, but, like, I know.
But I know.
The Jets are also the chalk defense. That I do have numbers on, so...
And we have Calvin Ridley, so I can't go Tampa defense.
That's why I said Jacksonville.
Well, I don't think Jacksonville. Jacksonville has had trouble against the pass this year.
I do think it's going to be unique. I'll say that at least. Whose pick is it next?
I'm going to close this out. I have 5,500 to play with, and it's looking ugly when it's 5,500 and below because Josh Downs fell off. I don't think he's going to bounce back.
Fell off.
Singletary is just, I mean, he did play well against Tennessee's tough defense, but I don't know if I trust that against Cleveland's run defense.
Why are the best plays on the board having us go double tight end? That's horrible.
Oh,
I
Lord.
know. Well,
They're
there
good.
are a lot of Packers injury designation at receiver, so you could go with a Dubes, you know.
Although I really
No.
wouldn't, the way they're using them, I wouldn't mind going Ingram or Njoku. They're getting wide receiver usage.
Well, you just took the word out of my mouth there. The magic word is going to be David Njoku. I think it has to go double tight end.
Yeah.
And we'll leave 200 on the table with that. Because Flacco loves Njoku, and that much is clear.
Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious that Njoku's always been a good talent. Baker never used him properly.
Remember when the Browns traded for Austin Hooper?
Yep.
Yeah, look, there's 10 of 14 for 104 against the Bears.
Yes.
Evan, could you tell me how many receptions David Njoku has this season?
This season, let me pull that
Right
up
on the
real
screen.
quick.
It's
Somebody
right on the
might
screen.
I have it
beat
right
that
on
up.
I
We
have
can
right
put it on the screen right now. We want you to guess.
My stupid tab.
He doesn't even know. Take a guess, Evan.
Okay, well, before I actually look at it, I'm going to... I don't know. Just pull it up. I don't know.
It's 69, dudes.
Nice.
I was about to say, like, come on, he has 69 receptions on the year. Come on.
I have not been following much of Njoku at all this season because I have no shares of him anywhere.
I just thought it was so ironic that you picked another 69 correlation just tonight.
Yeah, it's all coming together. It's all relative.
Now,
To
Gov,
be fair, both of these tight ends have been getting wide receiver usage. So, like, it's almost like we just played a bunch of wide receivers.
Yeah.
and,
With Chandler Gibson. Oh, God.
and let's be honest, on a PPR website like DraftKings, it makes a lot of sense.
So, Logan, if you're able to get into it with your voice, I was curious. Detroit, again, they are a tough defense for fantasy purposes against running backs. They're tough for younger talent like a Ty Chandler. Do you think the Vikings are going to run well against your team's defense?
I don't think they'll need to because Ty Chandler is also their best receiving option. So he is the Antonio Gibson of that offense. He has proven that he can get 20 yards and one carry already this season. So I don't even think he needs the volume at that price to do it. Basically, I'm playing it as the Vikings will be losing by quite a lot, and they will be throwing to catch up in that game, and we will get there on receptions. Quite similar to how we are hoping to get there with the double tight end on reception volume target kind of projection.
That is reasonable. Nick Mullins has been checking down to Chandler occasionally.
That's why I like it, anyways. It's just a price. Like, in a way, he is a cheaper Austin Eckler, type build to me.
Well, I don't know how much we could say Austin Eckler about that anymore because that man does not get that kind of usage. Sadly.
All I'm saying is that I would be very surprised if Chandler gets the same success against Detroit's defense, unlike Cincinnati's very questionable defense, where, he did get 81% of the snaps against the Bengals, but I think Campbell's going to throw a lot at the Vikings, and it's going to be ugly.
Well, and people got to realize that even if Madison plays, Ty Chandler had already started to take over the workload from Madison, and Ty Chandler would be the receiving option if they were down in that game, which is what we expect.
Because I remember the preseason when they were looking at all their running backs after moving on from Cook, the coaching staff was not happy with any of them. So it makes sense that Chandler's starting to break out a little bit, but
Correct.
I would still question if he's still the future, because they had to trade for Cam Akers. That's how bad it was, but he's on IR. He's not going to do shit.
I don't think they have the running back of the future on the roster of someone they really trust. I know it's not Madison because people forget Madison's like 30 years old pretty much. I think he's like 29, 28, something like that. So he's not the
No,
either.
he's
Madison's
not
only
that old.
25.
Yeah, he's not
Is
that
he?
old. Though.
He
Yeah,
runs
we had
like
this conversation before.
he runs like he's 30, man. I don't know.
He-
Maybe I trust my eye test too much. He looks like he's Adrian Peterson out there.
Who does? Madison?
Yeah, he's terrible.
Yeah, but he's not.
bad. He's very slow. He's not very agile.
But even Adrian Peterson in his twilight years was better than Madison.
I think
Yep.
Peterson could outrun him right now in a 40.
I mean, that wouldn't surprise me because AP is just built different.
Yeah.
I feel the same way about that.
So, what do we? So let's reflect a little bit. What do we think of those three lineups?
I like the Sunday lineup.
I really like it, and I also like that we were able to go Friday to give people an extra day of viewing so they can really absorb what we had to say. We have time to adjust and make reflection points ourselves.
Like, personally, after looking, just to make sure, we did put Jalen Hyatt as the last guy in on our Monday lineup, right?
Oh, Wandale.
We
Oh,
played
it's Wandale? Okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was a Giants receiver. I just missed it for a second.
Yeah, I would love to play Hyatt someday because I have a share of him in Dynasty, but I just, like I said, I don't get it. I don't know why they don't give him more. Like, he was phenomenal in the preseason.
But just looking like the Saturday lineup, I'm the most skeptical about. But it also has a really high ceiling, so it could go off. The Sunday lineup is the one I like the most, like jamming in all great targets and receptions, and all it costs us is Gibson and Ty Chandler. Yuck.
Yeah, I have to agree.
I still might change the defense on that from the Bears, but like with $200, you could go up to the Jags or something. You could go down. You could play like Dallas versus Miami or Miami versus Dallas or something around that. Like you could make a pivot there if you needed to.
Well, our Sunday lineup.
And then Monday, like Monday's the one I feel the weirdest about because I don't hate it as much as I'm not as uncomfortable with it as I am with the Saturday lineup.
Yeah.
But like I'm not happy that Bateman is in the lineup and that we're playing anyone again and that we're playing Wandale against the Eagles defense, and like there's parts of the lineup I don't like, but for some reason it doesn't bother me as much as the Saturday lineup. Probably because I get to look at Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey and Travis Kelce and be like, we're going to have three of the highest scoring guys on the slate.
Honestly, though, we don't really need all the lineups to hit. We just need one of the lineups to do well to actually make profit for the week. I think I say it almost every week, but really you want to diversify your portfolio as much as possible. You want as many shots on goal as you can get, and I think we did that tonight in practice. Donnie, any thoughts?
No, that's pretty much it from me.
Evan, does it encourage you that we went with a homer Justin Fields stack, or does that scare you more?
Well, for this particular matchup against the Cardinals, not at all, because I mean, as much as it could feel like a trap game if you've been paying attention all year with how awful of a fucking coach that Matt Eberflus has been, this Cardinal team, they do try, they do fight. I don't think they necessarily wanted to tank this season, but they're just fucking bad all around. And they're like Panthers bad, except they've been able to pull a few upsets against like the Cowboys and they... who did they last beat? I can't remember.
They have 3 wins, dude. I can only name one of the teams that they beat.
I don't know, but it's about to be a new year, so maybe they can turn a new leaf.
Yeah, but in any case, yeah, I do like the Fields and Moore stack, and I'm a little surprised that the prices are a little low for the both of them because that's just easy money. The connection is there.
I know with a lot of my personal lineups, I went with a McBride, Cole Kmet stack. So I did a double tight end.
The more I look at it and I see the tight ends on the slate, because Laporta's on the slate too, like I think I'm gonna be on a double tight end build.
Yeah, I don't know if
Yeah,
everyone
that's
else
what
is.
I would
in
Like there's
Well-
so many high target tight ends right now.
Yeah.
Like I think Ingram might be my favorite looking at it, because
Well, think about it, Gov. There's all these backup quarterbacks, right? All these secondary quarterbacks, and they usually love tight ends.
like if Lawrence is in, Ingram will be my favorite tight end on the week. I'll
I
say
agree
that
with
right now.
I agree
Isn't
with
Tampa pretty good against tight ends?
Tampa forces you to throw the ball all game. I don't care if they're good against anyone. If they make him throw it 40 times a game, Ingram's getting 10 targets.
They are, but again, to Gov's point, Evan Ingram has proven to be the most athletic player, regardless of position on that whole entire team.
Yeah, and those are fair points because, I mean, even if Ingram doesn't fall into the end zone, he's going to get that PPR volume, which will make him have a safe floor.
I mean, he really does look like he's aged like a glass of fine wine this year. He's been fantastic.
He's not even
Yeah.
old, really. He's in the prime of his career. He's just starting the prime of his career.
Yeah, he's 29. He's got 6 seasons under his belt, and he seems to be matchup proof because the lowest targets he's had all season is 5, and that was against Indy in Week 1. Otherwise, he's getting 7, 8, even 10 targets against Pittsburgh.
Now with Kirk out, he is the safety blanket. There is no other safety blanket.
Yes. Yeah, because I remember when Ingram first entered the NFL, like, people were worried he was too underweight and he was more of a wide receiver and he can't block and blah, blah, blah. But, I mean, he's in his third top 10 season, top 5 season, really, so far. So,
Yep.
That could be true, Evan. I don't care as long as you get the volume. To Gov's point, like I'll play you if you're a tight end, if you're a wide receiver. I'll play you if you're a quarterback like Taysom Hill. As long as you get volume, I'm playing you. You know, I don't care what your team considers you.
yep, agreed.
With that being said,
I just really like Evan Ingram as a player. He reminds me a lot of Darren Waller, just physically.
yeah, I would agree with that. Now, speaking of unicorns, is there any kind of mythological holiday spirit, kind of magical energy you want to give to the people before we send them off on their holiday celebrations? Any, holiday traditions? Any kind of tips? Anything like that?
I got nothing like that. Honestly, Logan, like you sound like you need a rest for the night.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
That's the
looking
best thing we can do for the holidays is like get everyone, get this show out early so that everyone has enough time to watch it, go over as much as we can, and hope everyone has a nice holidays with their family or
I agree
alone
with
or
that.
whatever.
Looking out for a friend or a family member, reach out to as many people as you can. Don't be afraid to say, Merry Christmas, how you doing, how you feeling. Everyone get some rest. Like you said, we got it out a day early. I'm going to go rest. Hopefully you guys do the same. Merry Christmas, everyone. And have a happy New Year's, and hopefully it gets off to a good start. Good night.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Happy holidays. Keep the faith. Go Bears.
Yeah, go Bears this week for sure.
Happy holidays, everyone. Peace out.